MVG Chess for Beginners. Hello everybody, this is King Beaming. Today I will be explaining chess. Chess is a game where there is a row of pawns, and behind it you have pieces such as the rook, the knight, the bishop, the queen, and the king. So pawns from the starting space can move 2 spaces. When they're not in the starting space, they can move 1 space, usually. And also, if they're in the starting space, they can also move 1 space. If they're not in the starting space, they can move 1 space too. There's another piece called the bishop. It can move diagonally, but it cannot jump over its own pieces. Neither can pawns jump over their own pieces. There's another piece called the knight. It can move in an L shape. The knight is a good piece to have because it is the only piece that can jump over its own pieces. As you can see, both move in an L. The next piece we are going to move is one of the most important pieces. It is called the queen. It can move in an up and down shape, diagonally, or left and right. It, however, cannot jump over its own pieces like the knight can. It is the best piece to still have on the board, besides your king, obviously. So as you see, this is a move called a check. It is when one piece attacks a king, but it is not checkmate because the piece can either be taken or blocked. This next move is a move called castling. It's where the king and the rook switch places. So as you can see, the knights can jump over their own pieces. And this is a discovered attack on the queen. The knight takes one of the pawns and also simultaneously attacks the queen. The queen moves to a space of protection. The rook now moves forward. It can move up and down or left and right, but it cannot move diagonally. There's also another knight on the left-hand side and another rook and a bishop. Here, the pawn attacks the bishop, and here another pawn attacks the bishop. If the bishop takes the pawn on the left, the pawn on the right takes the bishop. So the bishop has to move, and it just put a check on the king. Now the rook could be used to block it, but a better piece to use to block it is the pawn. Bishop takes the pawn, and pawn takes the bishop. We're going to watch the rest of the game play out. Usually, this is like a kind of a simulation of a noob game. Of 2 very bad players playing. This is not the types of moves that you want to be making, usually. But that's another check. Now, this is a okay move because it protects the rook. King is put in check, and that is checkmate. There's also tactical moves called openings. This is the Caro-Kann defense and is played by back. So, white plays e4, black plays c6, white plays pawn to d4, and then black plays pawn to d5. So in this position, white takes, and then black takes again. You can also move your pawn forward as well, or do other things, but this is the base Caro-Kann for beginners.